Dare to dive into the realm of the unknown, question everything you think you know? Welcome, intrepid truth seekers. We stand on the precipice of the mysterious, the enigmatic, the stories that have been whispered in hushed tones, dismissed as mere fantasies, or ridiculed as the mad ramblings of the fringe. Yet, every so often, these fables of the fantastic find their footing in the realm of reality. That's right, we're talking about conspiracy theories. Now, the term conspiracy theory tends to stir up images of tinfoil hats and dark web chat rooms, and for a good reason. Many are outlandish, far-fetched, and lack any substantial evidence. But what if I told you that not all are mere flights of fancy? What if I told you that some of these so-called theories have been proven true? Let's step back for a moment. The term conspiracy theory was not always a pejorative. In fact, it was once a neutral descriptor for any claim of covert, unlawful activities. It is only in recent decades that the term has taken on a more negative connotation, often used dismissively to label ideas that challenge the status quo. But history, my friends, is a curious thing. It has a way of revealing truths that were once deemed unthinkable. Every so often, a conspiracy theory shakes off its cloak of doubt and emerges into the light of day, its truth glaringly undeniable. These are not just stories. They are pieces of our past, fragments of our world's history that were once shrouded in mystery and disbelief. We are about to embark on a riveting journey through time, exploring some of the most intriguing conspiracy theories that have been proven true. We will delve into the hidden recesses of our world, shedding light on the truths that have been obscured in the shadows. So buckle up as we embark on this riveting journey through time to unravel the truths hidden in plain sight. Imagine a world where every move you make, every word you speak is monitored. A world where the walls have ears and the skies have eyes. Sounds like a dystopian novel, doesn't it? But what if I told you, this isn't the plot of a bestseller but a chilling reality we've been living in? Let's rewind a bit. The notion of government surveillance was once shrugged off as just another conspiracy theory. The idea that our governments could be watching us, listening to us, tracking us, seemed absurd. A figment of an overactive imagination. After all, why would they care about our mundane daily lives? But then, in 2013, the world was shaken by the startling revelations of a man named Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden, a former CIA employee, blew the whistle on the massive surveillance operations being conducted by the United States National Security Agency. According to Snowden, the government's unseen eye was not only real, but had a far wider reach than anyone had previously imagined. This was not limited to potential threats or criminals. Ordinary citizens like you and me were under the microscope as well. Every phone call, every email, every search engine query was being recorded, stored, and analyzed. The aftermath of Snowden's revelations was a global uproar. Suddenly, the conspiracy theorists didn't seem so crazy after all. Governments across the world were forced to address the issue of surveillance and privacy, but the damage was done. The trust between the people and their governments had been irrevocably shaken. The conspiracy theory about government surveillance had transformed from a dismissed speculation to a disturbing reality. As we navigate through our digitized world, the unseen eye of the government follows us, silently watching, quietly recording. As eerie as it sounds, the unseen eye of the government turned out to be more than just a theory. Ever heard whispers about the pharmaceutical industry withholding cures for profit? This hushed suspicion has echoed through the halls of the internet and community gatherings for years, often dismissed as the ramblings of conspiracy theorists. But, could there be a grain of truth buried in these allegations? The theory is chilling. It suggests that Big Pharma, the collective term for major pharmaceutical companies, may have discovered cures for various diseases, but are deliberately hiding them. The motive? To keep the cash flowing from patients dependent on their medications. Initially, these claims were met with skepticism and outright denial. After all, it seemed unthinkable that organizations entrusted with our health would betray us for monetary gain. But the world was in for a rude awakening. Several court cases and investigations have since unveiled a different narrative. Pharmaceutical giants were indeed found guilty of suppressing research or holding back cures. One such case involved a leading company that had developed a potential cure for a prevalent disease. However, they allegedly shelved it because it was less profitable than their existing treatment. Another shocking revelation involved a company that knowingly sold a product with harmful side effects. Despite being aware of the risks, they continued to market it aggressively, prioritizing profits over patient safety. These revelations have sparked outrage and a sense of betrayal worldwide. They've also shone a light on the need for greater transparency and ethical practices within the pharmaceutical industry. After all, shouldn't the health and well-being of patients be the primary concern? However, it's important to remember that not all pharmaceutical companies engage in such practices. There are countless organizations dedicated to finding cures and improving healthcare. But the actions of a few have cast a long, dark shadow over the entire industry. The bitter pill to swallow? The health of millions may be secondary to profits. This might not be the case across the board, but the fact that it's true even in isolated instances is a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and accountability in our quest for better health. What if the attack you never saw coming was actually a well-planned conspiracy? Now let's travel back to the early days of December 1941, a day that will live in infamy, as President Roosevelt put it, the attack on Pearl Harbor, a devastating surprise assault by the Japanese forces that pushed the United States into the throes of World War II. But what if I told you that this attack wasn't a surprise at all? That's right. There's a conspiracy theory suggesting that the US government had prior knowledge about the attack, but chose not to act on it. Sounds far-fetched, right? Well, just hold on to your hats, folks. Originally, this theory was dismissed as nothing more than wartime paranoia. Skeptics argued that it was inconceivable for any government to willingly allow such a tragedy to happen. But as we've seen with other conspiracy theories, the truth is often stranger than fiction. Fast forward to the 1990s. A slew of declassified documents came to light, shedding new perspectives on the events leading up to the Pearl Harbor attack. These documents indicated that the US had intercepted and decoded Japanese communications, suggesting an imminent attack. Furthermore, there were accounts from US naval personnel and reports from diplomatic sources that pointed towards a potential Japanese offensive. In spite of all these warning signs, no concrete defensive actions were taken. Why, you ask? Some theorists suggest that the US government allowed the attack to happen to justify their entry into the war, which was, until then, unpopular among the American populace. The revelations shook the foundations of public trust, raising questions about the lengths to which governments are willing to go to achieve their goals. However, it's important to note that these theories, while backed by some evidence, remain controversial. History is often a matter of perspective, and the truth can be elusive. The unexpected attack, it turns out, wasn't so unexpected after all. Shocking, isn't it, to think what we dismiss as mere speculation might actually be the truth. As we reach the end of our journey, it's time to pause and reflect on the revelations we've encountered. Let's take a moment to revisit and summarize the main points we've discussed in this video. Our exploration began with the unveiling of hidden truths, where we learned that the mysterious world we live in is often not what it seems. We dove into the world of government surveillance, uncovering the chilling reality that Big Brother is indeed watching. We uncovered the truth about the unseen eye of the government, a theory once dismissed as paranoia, but now a proven reality. Next, we ventured into the labyrinth of the pharmaceutical world, where we discovered that not all remedies are created with our best interests in heart. The conspiracy theories around pharmaceutical companies making us sicker rather than healthier are indeed not as far-fetched as they may seem. Our journey took a darker turn as we delved into the unexpected attack, a conspiracy theory that turned out to be a shocking truth. The notion that some events might not be as random as they seem, but rather, carefully orchestrated for hidden motives is indeed frightening. As we wrap up, let's remember that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Conspiracy theories, often dismissed as the ramblings of the paranoid or the imagination of the creative, sometimes turn out to be undeniable truths. It's a reminder to us all to question, to analyze, and to seek the truth, even when it seems unbelievable or unsettling. Remember, truth can often be found in the most unexpected places, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the curious and the brave to uncover it. As we step back into our world, remember, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes it's hidden right in front of our eyes.